everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is my 2025 makeup empties. I'm really proud of all of the makeup empties I collected this year, and I am looking forward to going through and sharing all of those with you today in this video. If you watched my last video, you know how I feel about the end of the year being upon us, and actually I think this is going to go up January 1st, so really the beginning of 2026 being upon us. And it's crazy how fast time moves, but I'm actually trying to just embrace this right now because I do love planning, and I was just spending some time putting some things in my planner for Q1, and I love highlighting some of the things that I'm excited for. One thing that I need to do now is build out my goal list for 2026. So every year I set goals, and I'm really happy with all of my success for my goals from 2025. At this point, I have not filmed a short about my goals from 2025, but I think I'm going to, so that could be potentially up before this, but definitely go check that out if you're curious about how I think through my goals and the different categories and then the ones that I actually hit. I reflect back on my goals like at least once a month, if not more, throughout the year to make sure that I am driving towards those, and I'm actually quite proud of what I was able to accomplish in 2025. And that's definitely something that I learned. It's not like a set it and forget it, but anyways, I think that's kind of just helped change my mindset a little bit in terms of being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're here, to being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're here, and we get to plan and think through all the things that we want to accomplish in 2026. Mindset for me makes a difference for so much, including working out, but also even for panning. I think that I just try to make sure that I'm having fun with all my projects, and I definitely had a lot of fun with my rolling project pan this year, but I also finished some makeup outside of that, and so I want to talk through all the makeup that I finished this year. And then what I'd like to do is compare it to a few things. One is all the makeup that I finished the past few years and how many items there were, and then also compare it to the cost of all those items versus the cost of the items that I finished this year, and then also compare it to the cost of all the makeup that I bought this year. Now, I will say that I did not buy makeup until like November and December of this year. I basically had a no buy. Really, I have not replenished or done a ton of makeup shopping over the last couple years, and so it was kind of necessary to restock on a few things. Let's go ahead and talk about all the makeup products that I finished this year, both in my project pan and in general. These are every piece of makeup that I got an empty on. Starting first with setting sprays, I have my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love this one, as you all know. I recently purchased matte blur version, but I would definitely pick up the original again. It's so good, definitely holy grail for me. And I also finished the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I have always been curious about this one and definitely wanted to give it a go, but not a favorite of mine, so I don't expect that I would repurchase this as it stands. I know they have different versions, so maybe I'd try something else out. But I have 4 new setting sprays that I picked up with my shopping, plus 2 that are on my planning to pan for this year, so I have plenty of setting sprays for right now. I also finished 4 lip products. 3 of these were from my project pan. The first is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. Love this one. Definitely a great dupe for the Fenty Fussy one, but honestly, just in general, great quality for a drugstore lip gloss. Speaking of great quality for a drugstore lip gloss, the NYX Fat Lip Drip Oil. Also loved this one. It had tint to it, so I liked layering it over different lipsticks and lip liners. I thought this one was really versatile. I felt like it was more of a lip gloss than a lip oil, but in general, love this. I think I would definitely repurchase this again. And I also finished this EOS lip balm, and I have another one of these that I'd like to finish up and use at some point because they did come in a 2-pack. And then I also finished up this Babe Glow lip mask. I actually bought this as a recommendation from Jaclyn Hill. I think she posted on one of like her Instagram stories or something that this was the best lip mask, and I was influenced. I picked this up from Amazon and I really liked it. I've not repurchased it, but I definitely think I would again because I feel like it's very similar to like the Laneige lip masks, but more affordable. I finished 1 base product this year. This was the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I ended up loving this, and I'm so glad that I spent the time in my project pan finishing this one up. I have not repurchased this because I'm trying out a couple of new foundations that I picked up in my Sephora order, but repurchasing this is not off the table. I finished a couple of powder products this year, which I'm always super proud to finish powder products because I feel like when you look at all of the products that I've finished, powder products certainly take the longest. And I am really happy to say that 2 are done. Face powder is obviously the easiest because you use the most quantity of this, but I also finished a blush. This had a pretty big pan in it when I rolled it into my project pan. I feel like I set myself up for success if I'm rolling products that are already well loved into my project pan, but sometimes that's not an option, but that definitely helped me get the empty on this. This is my Kosas Cloud Set powder. I really enjoyed this one. I've not repurchased, but it's definitely something I would consider getting again. And then this is my Too Faced blush, the oldest blush in my collection now, so happy to have that one finished up. I also finished my Avon eyeliner in my project pan. You probably heard me talk about this a million times at this point, and this will be the last time I speak about it. So really just thrilled to say that it is finally done. It took me many projects to get this one done, and it's just been in my collection a really long time. It definitely stood the test of time though. It held up in terms of quality and performance over the many times that I used it. And then I also finished both a mascara and a brow gel. These were not in a project pan. These were just kind of finished organically because they're the type of products that you use every day. So there's really, for me at least, there's no point in panning something like this. I really enjoyed the Maybelline Super Lock. I had been using the ABH Brow Freeze Gel Wax where it's like comes in a little pot and you use a spoolie to put that on. And then I needed a break from that. I just wanted something a little simpler. I like how small the brush is on this product. I just picked up the ABH product that's similar to this, and the brush is a little bit longer, and I actually preferred the brush on this one more. And then I also used up this Buxom mascara. I honestly don't remember how I felt about this, but then I'm like, if I don't remember, it must not have been anything too amazing. And then that is it for all of my makeup empties for the year. I finished 9 within my rolling project pan, and then I finished 3 outside of my project pan. So super proud to have finished 12 makeup products. It's funny because I was going back through last year's number, and in 2024, I also finished 12 makeup products, and in 2023, I also finished 12 makeup products. So apparently 12 is the number. In 2024, I'd only finished 8 within my project pan, and in 2023, I'd only finished 7 within my project pan. I was finishing more outside of my project pan those other years. Now, for the total cost of all of these, I went through, I looked at like my emails for products that are no longer sold, and then I went and looked online for the products that are still currently in market. And my estimated total cost of all of these is $269. Last year in 2024, my estimated total cost of all the empties that I've finished was $234.50. And in 2023, the estimated total cost of all the products that I finished was $219. So I've increased over the last few years, although in 2022, I don't have as much information about 2022, but in 2022, my total cost of all the products that I finished was $396. So significantly more, but I think I finished a face product in there that I received in one of those like makeup boxes that its sale price was like well over $100. So that certainly inflated what my total empties was that year. Like I said, I also compared to the cost of the makeup that I bought this year, and I placed 3 orders for makeup. I placed an order at Ulta and bought 1 makeup product. And then I placed an order off Amazon and I got this setting spray, and then I placed a Sephora order. So then the total cost of all the makeup that I bought this year was $236. It was just concentrated in November of December, honestly like a few weeks where I spent that much. I spent last year on makeup $163.50. So I spent more this year on makeup, but also the cost of my empties was higher. I'm happy that my empties number was higher, the 269 versus 234. It's interesting because I feel like my collection's just getting smaller and smaller and getting more and more curated, which I'm really happy about. I've spent now several years panning. Obviously, I've had success. Over the last 3 years, I finished 36 makeup products, and I feel like my makeup collection is very curated now. But when I placed those orders in November and December, I felt like there was a few things that I really needed to restock on. I love setting spray, so I don't know if I necessarily needed to restock on it, but these are something that I really want to spend my money on. And then I did need to purchase new foundations because I don't have much base product left. I did not spend any money on eyeshadow palettes the past 2 years, which I think gives you a very clear indication of like where things sit with eyeshadows, which if you've been watching my eyeshadow project pan, that'll all make sense. And yeah, so all in all, I'm really happy with where we landed for makeup empties for this year. I'm really proud to say that I finished another 12 products and that the cost of my makeup empties was still more than the cost that I spent on makeup. I'd like to continue that. I just want to thank all of you for watching my videos in 2025. It really, really does mean so much to me. I dabbled a bunch into shorts this year and I feel like a lot of you seem to enjoy them, so I appreciate you supporting me on sharing different parts of my life. I still love all of my makeup and panning content, so you can expect to see that continue into next year. I'm so excited to kick off my 2026 project pan. That will be the next video, so stay on the lookout for that. I hope all of you enjoyed your new year, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.